Hey guys, and welcome to today's new video. Recently I've asked you questions in my Instagram stories and I was thinking to today answer them on my YouTube channel. So let's get into the first question. What was your worst day of the 2023 season? Honestly, I don't think that was really a bad day, but if I have to think of one day, it was probably the second run of the super final, because I was leading for most of the season for the Acro World Tour, and on the second run was the first time where Theo took an advantage in points again over me, which gave me a lot of stress, but in the end it all worked out, as you might know. I'm starting with acro. Can you give me some advice? Yes, what I would do is take it easy and slowly. Probably you fly an EMB or a ENA glider. Stick with this glider. You can do your first SIV, your first acro maneuvers on those, on this glider. So fly with the glider you already have. Take it step by step. Take your first safety course, and you'll be good to go. Where does this huge motivation come from? What is your advice for someone who wants to become a champion? I could make a whole video about this, but it's a lot of manifestation, a lot of focus. You need to believe in yourself that you could do it, which is really important, and then look at the best pilot in the world, see what he is doing, copy it, do it better, and then look at all the things that he is not doing which you can think of that could be better, you know. So for example, like physical training, season training, all those things. So all those little things which you can think of what you can do better than him, take full advantage of all those things, and in the end keep training, of course, really important, and you'll become champion. What would you suggest to young pilots who want to become acro pilots? Play it safe. A long career is better than a short and fast career, because you put yourself at risk. So make sure that you take everything step by step, be efficient, watch videos, be safe, because once you crash, your career might be over, or it takes time to recover, and this will affect your training and it will slow it down. So be efficient, be safe, and you'll get there. Do you think one day it could be possible to do an infinite to heli on a tandem? Yes, I think it's already possible. I don't know if it's done already, but this is definitely possible, yeah.
It's done by Jack.
Ah yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah, I never saw the video, but it's definitely possible. So yes, on this day, yes. What is a great glider for beginners who wants to start acro? You can start with your ENA or EMB glider you're currently flying, or if you don't have a glider already and you're still figuring out which one to take, I made a whole video about the Kudos 2 from Sky Paragliders. Link will be in the description. This is a good glider to start your first acro maneuvers and your safety maneuvers. Have you ever come to South America to fly there? No, but I would love to, and I'm going soon, so stay tuned. There are many countries, of course, in South America, but I would like to visit a lot of them, so you'll see me in the future. You'll see me go to those countries. How old were you when you learned to fly? I was 14 years old. Actually, I started here in Ole Dennis, which is quite funny, but it was 1 month before I turned 15. That's when I started to fly. How long did you fly before you started to fly acro? Before I started to fly acro, I was actually already doing like twisted flying and stuff on the beach in Holland and doing spin landings and stubby touches. But I would say my first acro maneuver, Assad, I did it when I was 15 and a half years old. Favorite flying spot? Organya, obviously. Some tips for helicopters. Start with a big glider, because the first time you try helis, the glider might turn really fast for your feeling. So make sure you have a big glider, so there's a lot of time for you to handle things and learn the maneuver by itself. And watch a lot of videos. There are some tutorials on YouTube which gives you some really good important tips. Helicopters are probably the most difficult maneuver in acro, because from the beginning all the way somewhere into your professional career, you are still learning them, because there's many ways to get into a helicopter from every maneuver. So I would say it's for sure one of the hardest maneuvers, so make sure you really learn them properly. And also a good tip would be, before you start learning them, learn deep stalls. Like if you can hold deep stalls for like 10 seconds and can control them, it will help a lot with your helicopters. What do you like to do to train stamina in winter while not flying? Pre-season training, I am really working a lot on my physical health. So because in Organya the training days are like really long, let's say 8 hours a day average, 6 to 8 hours. So we can get a lot of pain in the arms, and I would like to prevent that. So before the season in the winter, I go to the gym like 5-6 days per week to really train the body, train my arms, specific muscles in the body to prevent pain while I'm training acro, which results in training longer acro, more training time, better progression, winning the World Tour. Is it possible to get a Cookie 2 demo somewhere in Germany? For sure. Contact your local dealer and they will help you out. Or if there's an event nearby like Stubai Cup or Kussen, all those events, you can go there and there are many cookies to try for you. What is your top list for winter training spots? El Hierro, if the wind is nice, because this spot is can be really consistent and you can get a lot of hours in, but if the weather is bad, it really sucks. But secondly, I would say Verbier in Switzerland, really consistent, really well, high altitude, or Ole Dennis, which is here, really consistent with the weather as well and good altitude. How long does a flight take and how many runs do you do in a day? Depends on the spot, but I would say 5 to 12 on average in, let's say, the Alps, or where you have to go by cable car or bus. And in Orgagna, it can go up from 20 to 60 runs per day. So that's why you see why we go to Orgagna. What is the best way to retrieve your glider after deploying your rescue? Good question. I would say it depends really on the situation, because it depends if you fell on the lines or not, or how the glider is behaving, or if you have a cravat or not. But usually you take the C's or the D's, grab them really tightly, mostly one or two sides, depends a bit. Then grab all the lines together. You actually want to make sure that the glider stops flying when you're under the rescue, and then you can pull in the whole glider. But in those situations it's quite stressful, so usually you just grab whatever you can, some lines specifically, so the glider stops with flying. If you grab all the lines together, usually it wants to stay flying and it's really hard to retrieve it. So take a few lines, if you can, C's or D's, stop the glider from flying, and then hold the glider in, put it between your legs and control the Rogaloi or any rescue you have. What new tricks do you want to do this year? Nowadays, of course, we still do a lot of the stall to infinite type of tricks. I think it could be interesting to do the twisty fly, which is a crazy maneuver where it's a twisty twist to back fly to infinite. This one is highly on my list, and I would like to try the X-Chopper or actually a X-Chopper hardcore entry to infinite, which is like a misty tumbling but the X-Chopper variation, and in the movement of killing the glider you switch the twist and then you let it go to infinite. At what age did you start flying twisted? Flying twisted, I did it quite young already. On the dunes, I think I was 15 years old, but my first acro tricks was when I was 16 and it was a twisted shot. So those were all the questions you guys asked. I took the best ones. If there's any questions you want to see in the next Q&A, leave them down in the description. Or if there's any topic which I talked about in this video where you would like to have more in-depth details, let me know in the description and I might make a new video out of it. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next one.